You're a rational person. You know the difference between what's real and what's not.
You've created something in your mind. A substitute reality.
Definitions of reality and how we can identify it have long been the concerns of great philosophers. Some of the 20th century's greatest artists have made identity and reality their life's work, and the concept pervades much of our humor. But what makes something believable? What makes something real? The video game EVE Online is based on the principle of verisimilitude. While you are flying around in your spaceship, checking on your social networks, managing your economic relationships, planning manufacturing and military operations, you're doing all this in a world specifically designed to emulate reality using several central principles. The most important one of these is the idea of a single shard universe. All the players in the game are sharing the same digital space, which means that your actions in the game have an impact on everybody else. Because people are all sharing the same space, it creates a demand for information about what is going on throughout that single universe. After creating this demand for information, game developers facilitated access to it by dumping all the data from the digital universe, providing API toolkits to help people access it. They also removed all intellectual property obstacles. Another part of the verisimilitude is the effort to give digital objects real value. This is done by requiring a significant amount of player time to be dedicated to every undertaking. The entire economy of the game is player generated. And just like in the real world, there are structures that facilitate the formation of corporations so that it's easier for people to organize group economic activities. So when you have a digital object, it has value because you recognize that another player spent time creating it. The final piece of the verisimilitude is numerical verisimilitude. This is common to a great deal of science fiction, where you create the illusion of reality by referring to things using mathematical concepts, physical distances, and other means of measurement that we use in the real world. EVE Online has been jokingly called spreadsheets in space because this element of numerical verisimilitude is so strong. So are all these efforts successful? Is a science fiction world where you're flying spaceships in an alternate universe actually believable? Here's a few examples of events in the game and human behavior that demonstrate just how excellent this recreation or illusion of reality is.
Docking request accepted.
A player who held important positions in both the in-game government and the in-game corporation was forced to resign his government spot after a real-life press conference revealed conflicts of interest between the two jobs. Another player received a text message on his real-life cell phone that his in-game bank account did not have sufficient money to pay the rent for his digital space station. There are many other examples of this kind of overlap of real life and game life, including players raising the equivalent of $190,000 in game money for victims of Typhoon Hainan, and there was even a run on a virtual bank due to corruption in the upper management. The focus on an intellectual verisimilitude in this game and the overlapping elements of real life and digital life are being taken to another level as data visualization and social networking communication technologies are being used to understand both the real world and the digital spaces that we live in. All these images that I'm showing you right now are examples of both, and you can't really tell which one is representing a digital world and which one is representing a physical world without reading the text. The way we're thinking about digital and physical worlds, digital and physical spaces, and our digital and physical identities is overlapping due to the technological tools we have and use to perceive them and collaborate in them.
I don't think the human mind is meant to exist in two different, whatever you called it, dimensions. It's just too stressful. You said that yourself. It's very confusing. You don't know what's real and what's not.
But you know what's real now.
Yes, sir, I do.